Hi, I'm Dr. Dawn April Ross of the Thoughward Academy, and today's class we are talking about relationships and if I am truly happy or just comfortable with the pain. Let's begin. So, in today's class, what we want to discuss is some of the challenges we have in being in a place inside of a relationship where we can become quite comfortable even when it's unhealthy. And this is one of the blessings and curses that we as humans experience. And that is, humans are able to be very, very adaptable to a number of negative and difficult situations. But sometimes it's this adaptability that allows us to stay in unhealthy situations longer than we should. So, how do we recognize whether I am truly happy and content, or whether I am just finding myself becoming used to the pain? Okay? So today I want to give you some tips in order to evaluate for yourself where you are in the relationship and how it is making you feel, so that you can be a better judge of your happiness in regards to the relationship. So, number one, I want you to sit down in a very peaceful place where you have some time to yourself and a little bit of room to be able to breathe and to be able to just concentrate on nothing else but this task at hand. Breathing in and out. And as you sit down, the first step is to ask yourself, what is your current state of being? And sometimes we're so busy, we're running and doing everything that we're not paying attention to how we're even feeling at the moment. And because of that, we're constantly pushing through and trying to get the next thing done and thinking, I'll deal with that when I have time. But the time very rarely ever comes. So what I want you to do is take a mental and a physical check in yourself right now. So when you sit and you think about your relationship in its current state, not how it was before, and not how you're hoping it will be, but just now, taking this precise moment as a slice of your present and asking yourself, as I look at my life right now in this relationship, what does my body feel? And does my body feel relaxed? Does my body feel at ease? Do I feel myself in a sense of balance and peace? Or do I feel myself sort of tense up? Do I feel myself feel a little bit nervous? Maybe feel a little uncomfortable? The first signs of our intuition in trying to tell us something is by the physical cues that we get. And usually this based down in our solar plexus region, right? Where our stomach is, where we feel a lot of emotions. So we want to take a moment to really go inside in this moment and ask, how do I feel right now? How am I feeling about my life with this person? How am I feeling when I just think right now about that person walking in the door right now? Am I filled with excitement and happiness? Am I filled with dread? Am I filled with insecurity or unease? So take a moment to just feel what it feels like in your body. Now, let's switch over to the emotional part. Okay? So that was our physical feeling. And now I want you to evaluate the emotional part. And the way we do this is such. I want you to imagine that your partner comes before you and they have a deck of cards. And on each one of these cards is the face of either A, something that they do consistently now in your present state that is wonderful, and something they may be doing in your present state that is really not so great, and maybe makes you very unhappy, very sad, or is a real challenge for you to deal with. And I want you to imagine they're laying the cards on the table before you, okay? And in this moment although you know this person for some time and they're your partner, I want you to imagine that they are coming to you for the first time, okay? And as they come to you for the first time, they're presenting themselves. Even though now you know more than you did then, you see they're showing you, their kindness, their generosity, or their humor, or their romantic side, whatever it may be. And on the other side, you see the other cards laid out before you, and they say, but I am going to be, let's say, very jealous, or selfish, or mean-spirited, or abusive, or unkind, or controlling, or demanding, whatever it is. And as the cards are laid out before you and you look at them, I want you to ask yourself, if these cards were laid before me in the beginning, when I first met this person, would I choose this person into my life? Now, it doesn't mean that people can't change, and everyone has the opportunity to change if they want to make the effort. But this is just a simple evaluation of where I am right now. So, would I choose these characteristics in the current form of what they're in the ratio of great to not so great? Or would I say, if this was laid out before me, you know what, no thanks? Our second step is our present versus potential. So when you're with a partner and you see their behavior, how they're acting, how they're talking, how they're treating you, the ways that you communicate with each other, the question is, am I in my current state very, very content with all of those things? And are we all looking for growth in life? Of course. I hope so. So it doesn't mean that we can't hope that our partner would grow, just as we hope that we'll grow too. But the question is, are the things that I truly need in my relationship and want in my relationship things that I am receiving currently, or are they things that I'm hoping this person has the potential to one day give me? Now, there are some things that clearly you may not have the opportunity at this moment to experience. For example, if you're with a partner and you currently have no children, and you're hoping that they might be a good mother or father one day, this may not be something that you can judge at the moment. However, you do have other cues when you see how they may behave around other children or animals or people in general. Even understanding what their sense of responsibility is, or how they share responsibilities with you. So there are ways to assess, but as far as things that we're looking at now, like saying, well, maybe one day this person will be more happy if they get a job. Maybe this person will be more romantic if they lose weight and feel better about themselves. Maybe one day this person will be less jealous if they see that we have spent more time together. So these are the kinds of things, as examples, I want you to use in an evaluation of, am I truly basing this validity and happiness of my relationship based on actual experiences that I'm having, or is it based on a potential that I hope, given some circumstance, will then suddenly appear as a characteristic in this individual? So another guide to understanding whether I am truly happy now, or I'm just comfortable where I am and hoping for something better, is to really ask yourself these questions. Is the behavior and characteristics of the person who I'm with now a way that they're showing me consistently, or is it a hope that I might one day see that because of some event or circumstance? It also may be an experience that you've had with the person before. Sometimes in the beginning, when people are on their best behavior, they may act in a certain way, and then later on, this may trail off. So there is always that hope that they might behave that way again, because we've seen a glimpse of it, so we know the person is capable of it. But just because someone's capable of it doesn't mean it's going to be part of their daily life with you. So number 2 in this is to ask yourself, am I seeing the behaviors as I want to presently, or am I hoping for behaviors based on a potential future? Okay. Next up are some warning signs that I want you to really listen to and ask yourself, am I doing some of these, all of these, most of these? And sometimes, again, as we are asking ourselves, am I just becoming comfortable with the situation? These are signs that things may very well be off, and things that I shouldn't necessarily be accepting as a part of my daily life. One is, do you find yourself walking on eggshells a lot? Is your partner a person that you never know what kind of mood they're going to be in or how they're going to behave? Could they be warm and loving one minute and the next minute cold and pushing you away? Do you feel as if each day your own mood is dependent on someone else's? This may be something, again, you have navigated and become quite used to, but is not a healthy situation to be in. Next, do you find yourself apologizing a lot, more than you should, even saying sorry for things that you're not really sorry for, just because the other person wants you to or expects you to, and you're hoping that by doing so it will somehow ease the situation? If you find yourself apologizing excessively just to try and keep the peace, this may also be a warning sign that you're in a situation where you're more comfortable with the pain than you are comfortable in happiness. Next, although your partner, as I said before, might often be expecting you to apologize, is it impossible for you to do the same? When there is a moment where you feel you've been wronged or hurt, are you comfortable with your ability to express that to your partner and ask for some kind of apology or amelioration to the situation? Or do you find yourself not able to even mention that that person may have done anything that didn't make you particularly happy or even hurt you? If you've also been told that your feelings are not valid, as if, for example, you're overreacting, or what you are experiencing is not right to be experiencing. Everyone has a right to their feelings in whatever way they feel them, and by invalidating somebody's feelings, we're disrespecting their right to have them. And so one of the questions is, can I be able to express my feelings without fear that someone's going to tell me that I'm overreacting because I have them? Next, if anyone should happen to, whether it's yourself or someone else, tell your partner that their behavior is inappropriate, are they able to accept that, or do they often deny it and blame everyone and everything else for their behavior? Often we find that when our relationship is one where things are not even, that the other person may constantly blame you, blame the world, blame their parents, blame every situation for how they're behaving, and take no responsibility for their self towards it. So if you feel like you're experiencing this a lot in your relationship, it may be something that you're getting used to that is not really good for you to be getting used to. Working too much, or they're hungry, or whatever reason it is, we might find ourselves over and over again trying to make excuses for why the behavior is so apparent in our life, even when it's something that we know is inappropriate for us or for others. Now, once in a while something may happen, but if you constantly are finding yourself making up excuses as to why your partner is behaving the way that they do, be it with yourself or others, then this is a red flag that I'm not in a relationship where I'm just feeling comfortable and happy, but I'm just getting used to this kind of behavior. Next, one of the questions is, do you find yourself asking what a normal relationship is? Or saying, well, maybe everyone else is like this too. Do you even question what is a healthy relationship? Sometimes it can be the experiences that we've had as a child, the way we've seen our parents grow up. It can be a norm that we believe from what society tells us is a normal behavior. But that question may circulate in your brain. Is this normal? Or I don't even know what normal is. And that may be a good time to then visit some of the other classes that we have here in Thoughward under relationship to really become more knowledgeable about what a healthy relationship looks like. And there are a number of sources you can find as well on the internet, or even speaking with a coach or guide. If you're not sure what a normal relationship is and you're inside of a relationship now, this is a good time to find out. And lastly, is one of the reasons when people ask you, so why do you stay with them? Just, well, I love them. And sometimes this can be what most people feel is the strong enough reason to stay in a relationship that is not really making you happy. And so, although love is wonderful, and love is one of the strongest energies in the entire universe, love can mean different things to different people, and we can love many people. But just because we love someone doesn't mean that we have to be in a relationship that makes us unhappy or might even be abusive. So take a moment to go through these questions and ask yourself, or ask them of someone whom you love and may think is in a difficult relationship, and see how many of them apply to you in your current situation. As you go through this, it may bring some more light in the understanding of whether or not this relationship is truly making me happy, or if I'm just in this because I'm used to it by now, or because I feel like, well, I can handle it. So, we discussed the kinds of things that we want to avoid in a relationship, those instances that we know are unhealthy and are not going to bring us happiness. And now let's talk about the things that we need to make sure we are finding in a relationship that's truly healthy and is going to bring us lasting happiness. So 1, do I find that in my relationship there's mutual respect? Do we both respect each other? It doesn't mean that we have to agree with each other all the time, but we can agree to disagree in a respectful way. But respecting each other means respecting each other's feelings, each other's times, each other's desire to speak their truth, respecting each other's dreams, our wants, our desires, our hopes, our feelings. Basically, just respect. Number 2, there needs to be trust. Do you trust your partner now? Maybe not 100%. There's very few of us who can trust 100%. But do you feel that you trust your partner enough that it doesn't make you feel worried or insecure when things may be happening that you're not familiar with? And vice versa. Do you believe that your partner can truly trust you as well? Next is honesty. Can you be honest with each other? Honesty is what builds a relationship. When we start having secrets and we're not sharing what we're feeling because we can't or we're afraid to, then we lose that honesty, and now the relationship suffers. So ask yourself at this moment, do I experience a feeling of honesty within my relationship? Next, compromise. This is one of the major keys to a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage, the ability to compromise. When we come into a relationship in the beginning, everybody is looking to have their needs met, and that's normal. We're evaluating the person. Are you going to be a good husband or a wife or a good father or a good mother? Are you going to be a good provider? Are you going to be fun? Are you going to want the same things as I do? Are you going to give me happiness? So it's all about focusing on what we want to be receiving in the beginning of a relationship. But as we move on in time and the relationship grows, it really is about being able to compromise, not meaning giving up the things that are important to us or the things that we need or want, but rather finding the golden middle. Where are the ways that we can both get things that we want or need, and can we both find a way to make that happen in a fair and equitable manner? Next is about individuality. Do you feel that you can express yourself the way you want in this relationship? Can you be yourself? We don't want to be so lost inside of a relationship that we don't recognize our own person anymore. One of the greatest things that we can do for each other in a healthy relationship is to give people that space to be who they need to be, to experience those things, and to be able to feel comfortable and unconditionally loved so they can be their unique self. And we don't want a carbon copy of ourselves. And yes, it's true that in some ways opposites attract, but in some ways it's great to have things that we enjoy together at the same time. So we're looking for that harmony and that balance, being able to be ourselves as well as being able to be with someone else. The next thing in a relationship is good communication. And let me tell you, I know this is one of the biggest challenges we have, which is why there are so many classes here at Thoughward on communication. But communication is so important in a healthy relationship, and learning how to be a good communicator. And if you feel that your relationship doesn't have good communication, or maybe the other person's not communicating at all, if a person is emotionally unavailable or not able to communicate their feelings, this may be a real sign that this is an area that you need to be working on. Next is about anger control. Everyone gets angry, everyone gets upset, but can a person be angry and express it without hurting the other person, without causing emotional or physical damage? So anger management is important in a healthy relationship, that everybody can feel angry, but it doesn't mean that they completely lose control, and it doesn't mean it gives them the right to cross over boundaries that you know are important for your own safety and health. The ability to grow, right? In a healthy relationship, everybody should want to grow. If you're in a relationship with somebody who's saying, you know, that's it, I'm X amount age now and I'm done and I'm not growing or changing for anyone, well, this is not going to be a healthy relationship. I don't care what age you are, there's always an opportunity to grow. There's always an opportunity to learn something new. And when we stop growing, we stop living. So in order to have a healthy relationship, we really want to experience that sense of growth, and hopefully we grow together. Not that we aren't our individual selves, but we're growing together, and it's like, you know, the roots of a tree, each one being fed from different places, still, you know, the earth, but each one bringing their own energy and their strength in and feeding this wonderful tree of life. So make sure that in your healthy relationship, you're looking for that desire to grow. Next is empathy. A good relationship means being empathetic. It doesn't mean that I have to understand why the person is feeling that way. I may never be able to. It may not be something that I'm capable of, but I can be empathetic to it. I can know that a person is suffering or struggling and be able to be there for them and supportive without necessarily having to know how it feels myself. And next up is self-confidence. If everyone in this relationship can feel confident, when we walk into a relationship where there is a lack of confidence on either side or both sides, I guarantee you, you're going to end up in a codependency. So you want to be meeting each other in that state of confidence. And if you are lacking in confidence and you're currently in a relationship, or your partners or both of you are, then let's go back to that one step of growth and work on it. A healthy relationship doesn't mean that both people have to be perfect right at the beginning. It means we recognize those things and we're all willing to work on it. And if we're willing to work on our self-esteem and our confidence, then that means that we, as we love ourselves, can be the kind of people we want to be to love those around us. And lastly, one of the things I want to also add is a healthy sex life. So if we're in a romantic relationship, we should be able to get the physical touch that we need and desire. And so it's important that you guys are in alignment with that. Whatever that looks like for you, whether it means that it's something that you need to express sexually, if it means that it's just about a physical touch or connection as well that you need, if it means something as simple as holding hands, or stroking one's face, or being able to hug or cuddle or snuggle, any of those things. And if it means wild, adventurous times as well, that's fine too. But being able to know that you can be your individual expressive self and that you can have that with your partner is one of the keys to being able to have a healthy relationship. Nobody should feel in the relationship they're being coerced into doing something they want or don't want to do, nor should they feel that they're not able to express the things that they do want because the other person won't understand. So these are some tips to be able to look towards when we're trying to understand what a healthy relationship looks like, as it is going to be not only the absence or very little of those things that we recognize as things that we don't want to have within a relationship or we don't want to be experiencing, but also a majority of these things that we're talking about right now that we really want to make sure that we do have in our relationship. And if we don't have them yet, then these are the goals of the things we want to work towards having. And this is what constitutes a true healthy relationship. So take time to go through these steps today or whenever you have the chance and really focus on your relationship right now and ask yourself, are these the things that I'm getting or receiving, or things that I know is lacking and I need to have? And if you're not in a relationship at the moment, then this is a great time to be able to think about what are the things that I do want and I need, and to really be focused on looking towards having these things in a healthy relationship. And they can be wonderful conversation topics for somebody that you meet to be able to best understand if they are in alignment with your way of thinking and feeling, so that you guys can compromise and find a way to be able to join together in a healthy and happy way. So I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you will take these tips and you will try them out yourself and really be able to understand whether it's a relationship you have now where you are and what you want to tweak and work on, hopefully together as partners, or if you're not in a relationship, being able to think about what your past relationships have looked like and recognize some of those warning signs, and be able to look towards new relationships and asking those you meet and seeing if they can meet you in the way that you need to be in order for your own happiness. And when you are happy, you can make others happy. And that's truly the goal, is to one day be at the point where everyone is focusing on each other's happiness in such a way that nobody feels that they are being left out. Thank you again for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Take care and namaste.